Hi everyone, Summer with Astariasen, and I wanted to do the Beetlejuice tag, the Beetlejuice tarot tag. I will leave the original creator down in the description. She did a fantabulous job with this tag, by the way, so it's super cool to be doing a tag like this, especially with Beetlejuice coming out. So this doesn't have any spoilers in it. It's based off the first Beetlejuice, not the second one. I haven't seen the second one yet, but I'm hoping to. So it's only 7 questions long. The first question, well, the first one is, because this is like showing off your decks, right? It's called It's Showtime, a deck that feels cinematic to you. And I chose the Dark Mansion Tarot, and hopefully for pretty obvious reason. It's very cinematic to me because it reminds me of Tim Burton movies. That's why. It has like a whole lot of Tim Burton-esque to it. And honestly, like, I don't know, it feels like it could be a movie. Dark Mansions could totally be a movie. I think it could pull off movie time. Okay, so I'm gonna go with that one for cinematic. I don't have a lot of decks that are based off movies or anything like that because I just don't really use decks like that. So the next one is I'm the Ghost with the Most, a ghoulish deck. Okay, so I got this one a couple years ago from the Halloween store, Spirit Halloween. And it's the closest I could come to a like Ghost with the Most deck. It has ghosts in it and skeletons. It's very Halloween-esque and very ghoulish in my opinion. So that's why I chose this one. I do have like an actual like ghost deck, but I didn't feel like it was very like ghoulish, let alone any kind of form of Beetlejuicy-esque to it. It's more like really upbeat ghosty and really cutesy cute, like purple and white kind of stuff. So I went with the Spirit of Halloween deck instead, which is it's a very basic tarot deck based off RWS. And this one is got the holographic rainbow version on the actual cards, not the sides, which makes it a little bit challenging actually to use, especially for somebody with eyesight problems. But I still loved the way that it looks. It's so pretty. I love the holographic. So yeah, the Prism edition. So I love it. Okay, and the next one is number 3. I myself am strange and unusual, a deck that's weird but lovable. So I chose the Witchlings deck by Paulina Cassidy because she does have like super cute, lovable, strange art, right? And the colors aren't quite bright, but I mean, come on, purple and green, that's totally Beetlejuice, yeah? And it is a very charming deck, honestly. It's very charming. It's not dark, though, in any way, shape, or form, but based off the colors and its charm and how it's just a little bit unusual, but still a very lovable deck. That's why I chose this one. It just seemed to fit really well with this prompt. And it's very basic, you just get the one thing and a little bit of wording on the bottom. The book, though, has like spells in it, which is really cool. You could do spells based off the cards, which is kind of neat. So that's why I don't know, I really like this deck. But I'm a fan of Paulina Cassidy work, so I mean there's that. Okay, number 4, My Whole Life is a Dark Room. A deck that's photographic or feels like you're looking into a photo. So I don't have photographic decks. Sorry. The closest I could come is Brian Froud's Fairies Oracle, because that's as close as anything comes to really having a photograph, in my opinion anyways. He does brilliant art that looks photographic. Honestly, I love that it's a border too, which kind of gives you that photo feel like you're glimpsing into something, but you're not quite there, which is very Faye-esque, right? So yeah, Brian Froud's Fairies Oracle is my photograph, at least as photographic as it gets for me. I'm not a big fan of collage art or really photograph style decks, so I don't tend to have those ones on hand. But this one seemed like you're looking into something, or like you would a photograph. So I thought it would work out well. All right, number 5. Nice fucking model. And the honk honk always comes after it because, you know, that's where my brain goes. And that's hilarious, by the way. It's a deck that's full of details. The details really shine. So I picked Ian Daniels' Fairy Enchantments deck because it has so much in it. Not only does the art have a ton in it, but there's so much you can do with this deck as a whole. So the details in this deck is pretty phenomenal. His artwork is, I mean, it's absolutely stunning artwork. I don't think you can get better details than Ian Daniels. He does some of the most fantabulous artwork I've ever seen. And it is super detailed. And each detail has its own little place inside the art too. But you can go even a step further, and the backs of the cards have even more details that go with readings. And if you've been on my channel and you've been around for a little while, you know that this is one of those decks, like you could put 3 cards together and come up with something so unique for just you based off cards you pull. So not only can you use the runes and spell work, right? You can actually create like a sentence: control, decisive, fortune, right? And if you don't like that, because it's the first word in the first card, the second word in the second card, the third word in the third card, you can just like switch it around and it's control, unexpected victory, right? Or if you don't like that, you can change it, illuminate unexpected quests. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? So you can even use that as in your spell work or just in your everyday and journaling. Illuminate virtuous fortune. You want to turn it around, increase virtuous victory. You see what I mean? So there's a lot you can do. Plus, it gives you all of these different things on the bottom of the card, and each one represents something different. An animal, a tree, a time of day, a piece of something, you know, it's and it all goes into your spell work or your dealings of the whatever you're dealing with. And it's a lot of details to go through and really like dive into. And then you have the actual meanings of the cards themselves inside the guidebook too. And on top of that, you can go even further and you can use your zodiac signs, which are part of the cards too, for a whole nother kind of set of cards that is just specific to you that you can use for different things. It's called soul cards, and it's really, really interesting. The book is not my favorite. It's falling apart to pieces, and it's so sad. But the meanings inside the book, I mean, there's a lot in this book, and it's so tiny, so it's a little hard for me to read. But look at how much is there for just one card so far. Whew. That's a lot for just one card. And see what I mean? It's falling apart. I hate this. So if you get the big book, it's much better. Don't get the little book. But yeah, Ian Daniels, this is an indie deck. I don't know if it's still available for print or not. If it's not, I'm sorry. But, you know, this is one of my decks, so that's just how it is. All right. The next question is number 6. I don't think we survived that car crash. A deck that brings the hearth truths to light. I chose the Mind's Eye Tarot for many reasons. It has a darker aspect to it, which I like. But I feel like the meanings also bring more into the open. Like there's an open eye, close eye thing that even goes on inside this deck, which is really neat. And so I really like the way this deck works, and it feels like that. That it brings more to the light than you realize until you've worked with it for a little while. And then you're like, oh man, yeah. And the art is phenomenal, of course. It's line art, which is absolutely beautiful. And, you know, here's the death card. I mean, just the death card alone, that's one of my favorite cards. But it's just got so much going on in it that it can just bring things around that in a way, too, that you hadn't really thought of. So it's really interesting. All right, and then the last one is, the last one is, and you let Beetlejuice out and didn't put him back. I could just picture the lady saying that too. And this is a deck that can get a little out of hand, out of pocket sometimes. I'm going to show you this one. It's got some dark art in it and some sexual art in it, so if you don't want to see it, now's the time to quit. Anyways, it is the Louis Royo Dark Tarot. Louis Royo is one of my favorite artists, and his tarot art is is a little out there. It is hard for some people to digest, and I think it can, in readings, get a little, it can go non-conventional, okay? It can go very, see what I mean, non-conventional. It's a very seductive deck, and it's not a normal deck even I would have, which lends to that it can get a little out of hand. So, and like I said, darker, and the artwork is just amazing. Its themes inside here are not normal themes, and I feel like that gives it a strong out-of-pocket experience when you're working with it. So yeah, and it's a lot of strong, really strong females in ways that are, you know, gory even sometimes too, because of, you know, how they work. So that is my answer to all of these wonderful, wonderful questions. And I will be getting around to everybody's videos as they come out. I hope you guys do it. Let me know which deck you enjoyed of this one. You guys have a very great day.